Hello, thank you again for joining us. We are about to watch the UK versus Catalonia. I am Bex McLaughlin, and I am here with...
Nicholas Hurst, all the way from Australia.
Hurst. Not Nick Hurst.
Nicholas. Oh, Nick Hurst works too.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Rebecca McLaughlin here
with Nick Hurst.
With Nick Hurst for UK versus Catalonia here in sunny, almost Australian in climate, Bamberg.
Oh, this is worse than most Quidditch tournaments I've been in Australia. There was a few times, but this is it's going to be a hot one today and tomorrow.
Thankfully, there are fewer poisonous spiders and sharks, and apparently there are birds that pluck out your eyes in Australia. So
crow season, no, magpie season's the worst. That's nasty. You have to watch out riding your bike to work.
I heard about it. I thought it was some kind of joke, and then someone was like, "No, it's true. These birds, they dive bomb you. They think your eyes are something shiny that they're trying to get at." And
that is absolutely true. It's why I don't ride my bike to work. If you walk, you're not a moving target, so they don't attack you. But nah, it's.
I don't ride my bike to work because I'm lazy.
That's also part of it too.
Oh well, yeah. So I am really excited for this game.
This is basically home territory for you for both teams.
Yes, that was going to be one of my fun facts. I have played for both of these teams. I played for UK in 2014 at what was technically World Cup 2, but it was called the Global Games in 2014 in Vancouver, Canada. And I played for Catalonia that was actually then called World Cup in Frankfurt, Germany in 2016. What I am not excited about is the fact that both teams are in heavily white kit. That is not my jam.
It's going to be very tough to tell the difference between them, but we should be fine.
See again. The Catalans are doing their church.
It's ingrained into you.
It's ingrained. Sigem is like they're singing about the reapers. So the Catalan symbol is a scythe, and they're reaping, which originally was corn, but for the Catalan team, they're we're going to reap death and destruction, and it's actually really dark. Thankfully, no one else speaks Catalan, so no one knows.
Except me. Everyone on the live stream now.
Except me, and now everyone at home. So shh, don't tell anyone else.
It's a secret.
It'll be our little secret, Nicholas.
Exactly, just ours.
So they have predominantly over the last few years, Catalonia has played in black kit, but now they've gone for a lighter,
more summer
kit, and now they don't clash with Spain at all. So that's nice.
Good for Spain, not so much good for this game though.
Not ideal. So Niklas Müller,
head reffing.
Is head reffing. He's very serious. Brooms down.
And here we go.
Brooms up.
Oh, nearly got it.
And Tom Stevens of Team UK had the quaffle on the brooms up, passed it to Seb Waters. Yeah, we are brooms down already. This is... Come on, Nicholas. Come on.
Okay, you'll be with us for a while.
Maybe it was a charging. Going over to talk to number 30, Alex Carpenter of Team UK.
Blue cards, UK, number 30, false start.
A false start. So Alex is one of
the stars, so we got Catalonia have another chance to get the quaffle.
So Alex is one of the fastest beaters, maybe even in Europe in terms of brooms up. She is very, very fast. But you still got to leave when everyone else has. Maybe that's why she's been so fast all this time.
Maybe. I guess we'll see next game.
So Fran, number 0, nearest to us on the camera side, should be able to get this one now as it's uncontested. So easy peasy. I love that name, Fran.
Here we go.
Oh my goodness, and that was Danny, number 38, first the quaffle, for Catalonia. They call him LSD, Lightspeed Danny, and he was certainly Lightspeed then, but then got beaten out. So the quaffle is in the hands of Seb Waters of Team UK, number 10.
They're going to slow it down now a bit to get the beaters back, just sort of take their time.
In the UK, Seb Waters, on his team, he anchors his team. He knows where he wants the ball. He'll get exactly where he wants it, and it's called Seb Ball. But long pass to Bexlow. Bexlow, number 13, passes.
Come back to Seb.
Passes back to Seb Waters.
But we got there.
Seb Waters looking for the opportunity. Lusa, number 77 of Catalonia, giving him the runaround. She's really trying there. Passes to Tom Stevens, number 59 of Team UK, has the quaffle. I am excited now because Andre Govet is on point for Catalonia and has the quaffle. Govet has the quaffle, number 8, passes.
Oh, that's so close.
That was
just over top of the group there.
Govet has been playing for London Quidditch Club this season, so is the reigning British champion, but is playing for his native Catalonia.
Also playing QPL this year, or?
Yeah, playing QPL. for the London Monarchs. So, oh, that was so exciting. That was an exciting bit of play. Beat 59.
And here we go. This is a fantastic start for Catalonia.
Yeah,
It's
they've
like-
had more. The UK has had fewer opportunities than Catalonia right now to score. Number 24 for Catalonia missing a beat there. The bludger has gone. The other bludger has gone off the field, and Mikey Orridge has gone to retrieve it. So Mikey Orridge, number 15 from Team UK,
It's the-
international debut.
Yeah, and also the youngest, well, we're not sure for sure, but definitely one of the youngest here today.
Yeah, just 16 years old, but already been playing
But
for like
still
2 years.
Incredible playing and basically helped that goal right there. That was
So
fantastic.
This is
taking.
exciting that it's taken 2 minutes for Team UK to score on Catalonia. So if they keep this up,
Well, that will still be, 9 goals at that rate before we get in, but I feel Catalonia is going to get some soon.
I hope so. Because going into
Their
it,
intensity is
Catalonia,
quite strong at the moment.
because going into it, Catalonia definitely the underdogs compared to Team UK, the reigning European Games champions. Seb,
And
just-
one of the highest ranking here from World Cup last year.
Yes, that's true as well. Tom Stevens got the ball behind the hoops, being chased down by Paul Perez of Team Catalonia.
Oh, good block
Amazing
there.
block there by Andre Govet again. Number 23 for Team UK has the ball. Seb, no, man, give it back to me. I'll make this work. Passes off to Bexlow.
Oh, and
Fumbles it, was beat. This
great
is
defense there by Catalonia. Like, they basically gave no options. UK had to keep passing around, just couldn't get it in.
could not get that ball in. Catalonia, in their cheat sheet, say they have been sending their strongest squad. And I thought that was just bigging themselves up. But this is genuinely the strongest Catalan
Solid
side
bridge.
I've ever seen. Although Bexlow has the ball, passes to
And there we go.
number 23 of Team
But
UK.
basically, yeah, UK, once they see that opening, they'll be able to just score those goals.
Number 23 is Tommy Ruler, who's making his debut for Team UK. Plays for Nottingham.
There's quite a few Dubés here for Team UK. Quite a few new players. It's going to be interesting to see how they mould over the weekend, but I've heard kind of this is more like, they obviously want to win, but it's more developing players within the UK this time.
So they're bludgers flying everywhere at the moment, which is quite typical. You've got
Oh,
Paul Orridge on the field
Had a
for Team
little
UK.
slip over. And Catalonia just got bludger control back again.
So number 3 Marti for Catalonia and number 1 Ferran are absolutely slaying it out there. Catalonia, of course, as well, got the heat advantage on their side here. This is their normal climate, so they're not going to be worried. They train in this all the time. Team UK has just scored again.
Again, so that's
Ed
2
Brett,
goals now.
Captain Ed Brett,
We're
just
up
scored.
4.5 minutes through.
There is a brooms down. I'm not quite sure what this is for, but hopefully the mic will tell us. And Andrew Govet is subbing. No, of course he's swapping
Blue
his keeper
card,
band.
delay of game.
So that was blue card for delay of game there. Didn't seem to be that so, but
So now Govet is in the keeper headband instead of in the chaser one. But I'm sure he's pretty good at both. I'm not that worried for them. So the ball is in the hands of Malpass, Ben Malpass, number 20 for Team UK. Pops it off to Ed Brett. Ed Brett gets it in easy. So Catalonia had an incredibly strong first 2 minutes, and it's not quite as strong as it was those first 2 minutes. Team UK has found their groove a little bit more.
has kind of gone down a bit in intensity there. UK making great use of it. One player down the Catalonia team.
So Ed Brett again has the quaffle. Passes to Alex McCartney. Gets picked up by number 42, Ava, from Team Catalonia instead. Passes to Andrew Govet. Catalonia once again have the ball. And number 6 for Catalonia is Big Marcus. We call him Big Marcus because his name is Marcus and he is big. So
Makes a lot of sense there. Makes a lot of sense there. Very solid player.
who has been playing for Glasgow this season. Because obviously everybody moves from Barcelona to Glasgow.
Like there seems to be quite a lot of turnover. Like, there's about how many UK players at the moment for Catalonian team?
4 players, I think, right now who play in the UK. Laura Rex, Gemma Hidalgo, Big Marcus, and Andrew Govet. I personally feel like moving from Barcelona to Glasgow is, like, even though I'm a reserve for Team Scotland, I would say, like, that's a downgrade. Like, the climate, the weather.
The alcohol is good, but the weather, no. I could never do, I don't know, the UK weather for me, particularly as an Australian, it's not the same.
So the teams have called, a timeout has been called. What do you think Catalonia is going to be discussing in their huddle?
I think like they had a good first few minutes, and now they're kind of they lost the intensity there. They lost the atmosphere. They're trying to get back together, get that mindset, and it's like, yes, we can push against the UK. We had a few good moments there. So now it's very much trying to get like that intensity back in, keep the players in the game, and not kind of let the 5 goals there kind of take them down.
Yeah, because 5 goals, 5-0 is not a completely unwinnable game at this point. You can turn it around, maybe.
It's definitely possible. Like, we had a few cases that, just last weekend in Amsterdam with QPL, but it's definitely a challenge, especially this early in the game.
But I think Catalonia, on some level, will know that this is just a game they have to get through. They'll be aiming for the other teams in their group to beat, and that's fine. I think a big difference as well will be that the Team UK roster, of course, is so deep. There's no difference. There's no drop-off from your first line to your second line, whereas Catalonia, like a smaller NGB, there's going to be a bit of drop-off there.
No, exactly. It's going to be much harder, like, especially as the game goes on. But as long as they put a good showing, it shows good strength throughout the weekend. Especially with the regulation system, even if they lose this one, they've still got good chances.
Definitely. So Alex McCartney, number 34 from Team UK, running passes. I'm sorry, he passed to nobody there. Got put off by Gover and fumbled, but Ed Brett once again has the ball. Passes off to Asha Piatek. She passes to Alex McCartney, who missed the catch and got beat. Maybe I think Alex is probably finding his feet. It's number 34's first time playing for Team UK. So some of them nerves were kicking a little bit. He plays for the London Unspeakables at home. So Govet has the ball, passes to Big Marcus. Big Marcus advancing up the pitch. This is his 3rd showing, or maybe even 4th showing for Team Catalonia, Big Marcus.
Basically, yeah, been to most of them. So, yeah,
I'm getting bored of saying it, but Ed Brett once again has the ball.
Just a recurring theme here today.
He's a good captain. He's a good captain. He plays for Werewolves at home, and he's leading the team really well, leading by example. Like, what else can you do as a captain?
Exactly. Take control of the field, get those hoops in. They're up to still on 5, so Catalonia's still holding it.
Oh, Alex McCartney making up for those fumbles earlier. A convincing goal there, not messing around, getting the ball in the hoop.
Very solid. Good beater work too by the beaters. Like, they just basically took everyone out and then just got that goal.
Number 88, Lightspeed Danny. Sorry, I said he was number 123 earlier. That was his old number. But of course, that got taken out when you couldn't have three numbered numbers anymore.
It's a travesty.
A travesty. So he's dropped to number 88. Yeah, go on, LSD. Lightspeed Danny. So Catalonia Quidditch, they have done really, really well. A few years ago, one of the major teams, the Eagles, looked like it was going to disband completely. A few players were like, we're not going to let that happen, and they recruited heavily for the next season. I'm talking like posters, flyers, members of the public, like getting everybody, and it was almost complete turnover from one year to the next. They still won the Catalan Cup, which shows amazing testament to coaching, perseverance, and all of that. And I'm so happy to see that continued growth for Catalonia.
Yellow card, number 18, UK, illegal charge, charging a player without a ball.
Yeah, Barcelona had like a solid team at EQC Division 1-2. They had a full squad. Obviously, it's a very different sort of landscape, but
Catalonia scored 60-10.
Getting on the scoreboard too.
They'll be very happy with that. That was excellent.
Keeping it within that 50-point range, which is definitely reachable to get back up.
Never forget, in 2016, Team Catalonia scored on Team Canada and on Team USA. So, don't sleep.
Not
don't
many
sleep
did
on
that there.
Catalonia.
Not
Don't
many
sleep
did
on
that,
the Reapers.
exactly. Here we go. UK have got budget control here. Can they make the best use of it?
Oh, now I would call that a bit of a dislodge of hoops there. She did run into it, and that would have been a sure
accident,
goal.
but it was like running directly into it.
I definitely think it was an accident. I don't think it was intentional. And also, if you've got Ruben Thompson towering over you, yeah, like I would run into as far away as I could anyway. So, but that was a bit of a shame because that should have been a goal, or at least could easily have been a goal for Ruben there.
Oh, fantastic beat there by the UK. Oh. Great tackle against Norton there.
I really thought Nicholas was going to call something there. He sort of paused, he put his whistle to his lips, but decided against it. Okay, that was
hectic.
Hectic. Yeah.
Period.
Chaotic.
Yeah, very chaotic. It's definitely the word for it, but came out of it with not too much changing.
Team UK's Tom Norton has the quaffle. Tom Norton going through, making a drive, running, dodging.
Drive it through, and there we
Easy.
go.
Dodging around most of the Catalan defence there. Tom Norton, former captain of Team UK in 2015, I want to say.
You would probably know more than me on that one, but it's definitely a strong presence within the community.
Definitely. It's just how Team UK has had so many, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. There's been a lot of Team UKs. So
exactly,
how to keep track of them all.
It does change quite a bit each year. Oh, that's the second goal there for Catalonia.
Second goal, amazing pass off to Big Marcus, just popped it in. 70-20 UK Cat. Ooh, this is exciting. This is very exciting.
Like, if they keep it within range. 2 more goals, and we're back in snitch range. That's all we need. Here we go. Norton back with it again.
If Catalonia won, I would lose it. Like, absolutely lose it. That was goal for Abby Harris, number 6 of Team UK. Good to see her back on the field, coming back from an ACL tear about 18 months ago. It's always nice when you see players come back from, wow, that can be a life-changing injury.
Especially ACL is like, it is one of the most challenging, most painful ones out there. Like having seen like Taya from Australia go through it herself, it's always great to see. Here we go, Tom again. Fantastic goal there, quick pass.
Alex McCartney scored, number 34. Okay, I said he made those fumbles. He's definitely found his feet now. I'd take that back. The fumbling was allowed. He's made up for it now, I think. So, cute story. Number 77, Lusa from Team Catalonia. And, yeah, Lusa for number 77 and Mark Villamou, whose number I can't remember. But they got married. They were on rival teams in Catalonia, and they met through Quidditch, got married, and the toppers of their wedding cake was themselves in their jerseys.
That is actually so adorable.
So cute. Made out of icing.
Another
there was
goal
number
there
23. Tommy Ruler from Nottingham scored for Team UK. The quaffle is in the hands of Big Marcus Gorgante Oliva, which means olive seller. In Catalan. He is not an olive seller. I think he works in an office.
But no, like, I feel like for, 2020s is going to be the decade of Quidditch marriages, like Quidditch weddings. Like, now that everyone's kind of, the people be grown up a bit, like, in Australia, we're already starting to get to that stage.
That's exciting. I said once, I wonder how many babies have been born because of Quidditch.
Not too many yet. But
not too many yet, but maybe down the line. 2 other players on Catalonia are engaged to be married pretty much when they can afford to have their wedding. So, with Catalonia, Paul, number 13, Paul Monscu, has the quaffle. We get along really well, Paul. I don't speak much Spanish. He doesn't speak much English, but we get along fine.
It's not always about language.
Like, Bo, tengo una problema. And he's like, a problem? Yes. And that's the extent of how we communicate the problem we're having on the field. But it's okay. It's okay. Quidditch, of course, breaks down those barriers.
Exactly. You go to training in any country, you don't speak the language. You just sort of, play Quidditch, throw the quaffle and bludgers around. You just have that connection. Or miscatch there.
The score is currently 100 to 20, UK to Catalonia. Time nearly 14 minutes.
And
number
easy
2,
run through by
Matt
2.
Croft, number 2 of Team UK, just scored for Team UK. Is his debut as well.
Another one, yeah.
He's never even played outside the UK.
So this is his first international tournament.
Never been to an EQC with his team or anything like that. So yeah.
Well, for the short time on pitch so far, he's definitely had a solid shot.
Impactful. He can retire now, that's it.
Exactly, he's done his job. Scored that goal against Catalonia. No, I think big things to come there.
Well, he's a big thing to come if he's running at you. Catalonia has scored again. This is so exciting. 110 to score says 20.
Back speed, just trying to catch it there.
Catalonia, of course, is a very small area, so they can have regular training camps. Most of their players are based either in Barcelona or in Tarragona, which is only about an hour away from each other. So, of course, that helps.
No, that's definitely. I feel like it's interesting to see which teams can do regular trainings, which ones can't, and how it does impact the teams. It's like what's like the UK training scheme? If you know, like, do they train like weekends beforehand, or?
I know they were definitely training last weekend. I think they try to do. I think they train every month to 6 weeks, depending. And they mainly train in London. Bexlow being wrapped up in a hoop there. Paul Monsky's still trying to get that ball. Oh, it's a bit of a pile up.
Trying to sub out before clearing it up, but there we go.
Mikey cleared up, and now he's subbing for his brother, big brother Bill.
Because coming from like a Germany sort of level, the amount of training that goes into that team, like, kind of shocked me. Even though, like, in Australia we did quite a bit, but Germany itself is like more than once a month, pretty much. There's always a team training, team development camp, and it's like the level every year is like higher and higher of like how much training you put in.
I hope it pays off for them this tournament for Germany, especially that home field advantage as well. And the Germans do love coming out and seeing Quidditch.
They do. Like, that was probably one of my biggest things from Frankfurt back in 2016 was just the crowd for Germany was insane.
Even this weekend at our Airbnb, our host she doesn't speak much English, but she's like, "Oh, you're here for the Quidditch. I see on the paper." like, yep. Don't know what it is, but good luck. And Matt Croft is sprinting down the field with the quaffle. Matt Croft for the UK runs through everybody, just runs it in. That's very much his style at home. Big boy who drives. I don't know. I'd like to see him do a bit more passing with Team UK. We'll see. We'll find his groove.
Oh, that's 2 for him on the scoreboard. So definitely a solid start for his first game outside of UK.
Yeah, I mean, I would take that.
Yeah,
that's okay.
I would definitely take that.
Could be worse. It's so rude. So, Nick, how long have you been living in Europe now?
It's been about 1 year now so far, so it's definitely blown by. Like, World Cup was only a short time ago in my mind, but it's been a whole year.
That's crazy. And you're still enjoying it, living in Germany?
It is a very nice place. Good culture, good atmosphere, good Quidditch.
Good beer.
Can't complain. Good beer. Fantastic beer.
No creepy crawlers trying to kill you.
No. Not yet, at least. Another goal there from the UK. It looks like Snitch is about to come on pitch, so let's see whether... I assume Catalonia will just go for the catch here, but I guess we'll see.
I think they would as well. It'd be nice if they could stop. What I think will happen is the UK will try and defend. They'll try and defend a little bit so that they can reach the maximum point QPD. But obviously, Catalonia probably wants this game over quickly. Lightspeed Danny has switched from beating to seeking. He's going for it.
Oh,
so close.
Good catches there. No, UK's definitely going for it here.
But the UK seeker number 56, Trev, he is one of the UK's obviously best seekers, but I mean, I'm talking one of Europe's best seekers. He went to the British Quidditch Cup. Was there all weekend. He played about 5 minutes because he caught 6 snitches or something crazy in that time.
That's incredible.
Yeah. He gets up, has a stretch, catches the snitch, then goes back to sleep, goes back for a nap. But this guy is causing a bit of a challenge. This is interesting.
Sven from Germany. We've definitely had a few good chats, but...
The snitch is called Sven? Sven the snitch?
I believe so, yes. Still getting used to like the 4,000 players within Europe and all the different names, so I do apologize if I get any names wrong. But we're getting there,
I don't know any German
maybe
snitches.
Next year.
So. Number 23, Tema Hidalgo Lopez is going for the snitch for Catalonia. Trev is doing an amazing job of blocking him out. Like I said, they're going for the defense. I think
he's going for it when he's get the easy chance, but otherwise just holding it off.
I mean, Trevor could just have it stay there all day. I would forgo the play and then go for my nap rather than try and stop Trevor, to be honest with you. Or Chema, actually, both of them. Maybe I should just go have a nap. Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
Yellow card, illegal contact, coming from behind, wrapping, number 14,
Number 14, yellow, contact from behind. That was Asher Pietek. A naughty Asher, contact from behind. Oh, we're talking about people getting married. She's getting married to another player on Team UK.
Nice. Got that Quidditch baby coming along, maybe in the next decade.
Decade, yeah. I've slowly encroached into the age where it's like, if a friend tells me she's pregnant, it's like, oh, is this a congratulations or an oops? And getting more and more, it's becoming congratulations, and I haven't got my head around that yet. But
it's definitely scary. It's like, well, how long have you been in Quidditch for now?
Oh, since 2012.
Oh, that's like more than me. It's just 2013 here.
Yeah, August 2012. Oh, when I was young.
Youthful Quidditch days.
I had such a zest for life. I still have a zest for life.
Well, how can you not with such great Quidditch here today?
I love Quidditch. Oh, sorry, obvious. Sorry, fun fact, Bex loves Quidditch.
That is shocking. Like, I'm shocked.
Shocking. So, I'll give you, maybe I can make this a fun fact. So, Ruben, number 50 for Team UK. I play with him in the Summer League, the Quidditch Premier League for Southwest Broadside. He's going for the snitch. And so, yeah, fun fact, I played with Chema for a season and a half with Catalonia and the Barcelona Eagles. So these are my two boys. I just want both of them to have a fun time, you know?
Well, they've had some good dives so far, so...
They are also both very tall. I don't think when they're standing next to each other you've got any perspective, but they are both giants.
It's definitely hard to see from here, just because there is all the tall people around you, so it looks the same, but when you compare it to other people, it's like tower over them.
Fun fact, Gemma has a PhD in bioengineering and how to make strawberries taste sweeter and grow more efficiently.
They definitely need to help out with some of the ones I've had in Berlin. Like,
you need British strawberries.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm not nationalistic, except for Southwest British strawberries. Another fun fact, I haven't put enough into this commentary slot yet. Number 50, Ruben. He is a boat builder. That's what he does for a living. Builds boats. So you've got strawberry engineering, you've got boat building.
What else do you need? Like strawberries on a boat.
Oh, isn't that the dream?
Exactly. Good weather. You know, some good Quidditch on the... Oh, the snitch game is quite exciting.
Oh, Snitch is down because he's out of bounds of the field as well as being on the floor there.
So we're up to 150 to 30. No.
Number 21, going back to Hoops now for Team UK, Geneva Chambers. This is also her debut. She is very good. Very good player. Plays for Raptors. Oh, and the snitch has been caught by number 88, Danielle. I think they
might be off pitch, but otherwise it was good from what I could see.
Nice shot of Trevor there for you. Don't worry, Trevor. You can nap soon.
It's okay. You'll get one later. plenty more snitches to catch.
This is a long cogitation.
Looks like something was about to happen there, but it's just gone back.
So I've been playing for 7 years. The snitch discussion has been going on for 7 years. That's a joke,
Seems to be,
obviously not.
but it is basically the recurring theme of end of Quidditch games. But it does build that tension, and that's something which like was very noticed at Canada when they had like video replays.
Yellow card, Seeker UK, charging the snitch. Catch is good.
Okay, so a yellow card at the end of the game, but a snitch catch for the other team. Interesting. That makes the final score for the UK 180 star. Sorry, 150 to 60 star for Catalonia.
Catalonia got that one there, so fantastic catch just around the back at the end.
It was like Danny planned that, just to be right in front of the camera, so everyone saw.
Exactly.
Showmanship.
Perfect shot. Now, I think Catalonia can come out with this one, like, you know, yes, their defense, they let quite a lot of goals through, but they definitely have the intensity there to push hard throughout the weekend.
Yeah, they'll be very happy. Very, very happy with that, I think. Well, I have been Bex McLaughlin, and you have been...
Nicholas Hurst.
Nicholas Hurst. All right, see you all later. Enjoy the analyst table. Thanks. Bye.
Hey, I'm Helen Glover, and this is Ajantha, and we've got Maddie over here, and we're about to analyse the wonderful game of Quidditch we just watched. It was UK versus Catalonia. It was an intense match, I think, but it was a good game all up. What do you guys think?
I think it was quite interesting to see because there was a lot of back and forth on the bludger game, but it seemed like Catalonia had bludger control for the majority of the game, but it still was too much of a difference in the chaser game. So actually UK was able to pull ahead and actually went quite far ahead, even though they were most of the part actually behind in bludger control. So it was interesting to see for me.
Yeah, I tend to agree to some extent as well. Yeah, the Catalonia beaters did quite well for most of the game. Playing in some ways toe-to-toe with a lot of the really good beaters in the UK. The difference was large in the chaser game, where the UK's chasers played very well on the wings, especially on offense, especially in the later parts of the game, and really able to draw Catalonia's beaters out and take advantage of those quick little beats that their own offensive beaters were making, and take advantage of those short, very small opportunities on offense and convert lots of those, which Catalonians couldn't seem to do on their own offense.
Okay, at the start of the game, it seemed quite evenly matched for the first couple of minutes. Like, there weren't that many goals being scored, but then a few minutes in, UK just seemed to get this momentum. Where do you guys think it came from?
To me, it really came from at the UK. I think UK started off a little bit frazzled after Alex Carpenter took her little bit of a false start, took a yellow card for that, or blue card for that. And so UK started off a little bit frazzled. First two goals were a bit messy. The offenses were a bit sort of all over the place. And their B line subbed on. I think their B line really brought it back in together and started playing some nice, clean Quidditch.
Yeah, I also think it comes from a bit of what at least, for example, the top teams in Europe have shifted to, which is you don't risk the quaffle unless it's a sure goal, so you won't always want to have your beaters going in first. But if your beaters are losing, the quaffle's not doing much. So it took some while for the UK to actually realize they can actually go for that and go in and do the try and score, because the beaters are actually caught up in the beater play and are not focusing that much on quaffle.
Before the game started, I spoke to a few of the Team UK players, and they said, as the reigning champions from last year, they were keen to defend their title, but they were also a bit nervous about it. Do you guys think that showed in the game we just watched, or do you think they handled themselves pretty well?
I think it showed for a bit, because they did seek defensively at some point, so it showed that they wanted to cap, which just for pool play, it doesn't matter if you cap or not if you win all games. But for bragging rights, it's important, and it really showed that they wanted to cap this game to show everybody that they're still there and that they're still strong. So I think that's the part where it showed the most, and we're going to have to see how it goes for them.
And what do you think the rest of the weekend has in store for Catalonia? Do you think they'll be able to recover from this loss, or do you think starting off on the wrong foot is just going to impact them for the rest of the weekend?
I think first game against Team UK, first game against defending champions, it's always going to be a hard game. I think Catalonia can take a lot from this game and bring a lot of energy from this game into their coming games. Obviously, they'll have Italy later in the day. I think if they play the way they did against UK against Italy, they'll have a very good game against Italy. Italy, of course, very strong coming out of World Cup last year, so we'll see how that goes. I think the UK is going to have a very interesting tournament. There'll have a lot of very fresh faces on the Team UK team this year. So it'll be very interesting. They showed lots of their debuts this year on that first game were very good. Be very interesting to see how both teams go.
Yeah, what do you think, Maddie?
Yeah, I think it's going to be quite interesting, because Italy is a bit more on the physical side, so we could see the same difference in quaffle game, but we could also see more opportunities for example, players like number 6, who did a bunch of very good long shots to get those in. And if we combine that with the same level of beta play we just saw, it's going to be a close game. And I think it's going to come down a lot to how much the quaffle players from Catalonia can get into it, and how much of the beaters from Team Italy are actually up to the level that Catalonia has been displaying this game.
All right, so taking bets now, how high do we think UK is going to finish this year? Are they going to win or not so much this year?
It's a very interesting question. I think their odds of winning this year are less than they were in 2017. I think that too many of the rest of the top 5, even top 6, are really pushing for those top places now. And I think UK has got a much harder fight to get back to first place this year than they did last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, pre-tournament I saw UK ranking around 4th or 5th because I think the other teams have just stepped up so much on the tactical side, and I think UK is relying a bit too much on the skills their players have. And I think it showed a bit this game that they, for a lot of time, didn't have an answer to what was happening, and their regular system didn't work at the beginning. So I think it's still gonna be tough for them to actually come up with a medal out of this.
And UK does have a lot of new players. Do we expect to see any of these new players at the Global World Cup next year in Canada, or do you reckon like they'll have tried the newer players and then just go back to the old ones that they think just do a better job? Do you think we'll keep seeing these faces or not?
I think we will. Players like Mikey Orage, that I think UK has been waiting for him to be old enough to play. It showed he was on the starting lineup, and I don't think he's going to be going anytime soon.
And do we think they utilised their girls well, or do you think that was kind of just an afterthought?
I think some players like Bexlow, for example, like a real stalwart of Team UK who's been on Team UK, I think almost every single Team UK appearance, if not all of them. She was obviously like a very reliable option for them. I think a lot of their new girls were actually really, really quite good. Karina Werner, their new beta, was fantastic a lot of the time.
I loved watching her play. She was wonderful.
Really great in cleanup, really great just speed in general. I think their new chaser as well, I've forgotten her name, but she was also superb. So some great tenacity on offense and some really great, going herself and pushing through a whole bunch of players. So I think obviously there's always room for improvement, but I think they're doing quite well.
Yeah. So gender is a very big issue in Quidditch right now. So out of the two teams that just played, who do we think utilised the female players better, Catalonia or the United Kingdom?
It's a tough call to make because I think UK showed female players in more positions, whereas from the majority of beta play from Catalonia was male dominant, at least male body dominant. And people like Karina Werner, as you mentioned, showed a fantastic game in beta play, and UK also had some very good chases on pitch. They still have most of their female quaffle players tend to be played as wing players and not as quaffle carriers, which I don't like, but it was pretty much the same for Catalonia. So I think small advantage to UK based on the fact that they actually used their females as beaters as well.
I think in Catalonia's half, number 4, for example, Alba, I think, she played fantastic games switch and pitch. But for the most part, Catalonia is very, very male dominant, especially in the quaffle game.
Yeah.
UK showing the ball around a bit more, but obviously very much male ball handling. Interesting, not so much keeper ball handling. So a lot of the time, especially with Alex McCartney on, they were favouring Ben Malpass or Tom Norton ball carrying from the wing. But again, using these sort of male players consistently and using their female players on the wing. And they are using their female players, to be fair, for a lot of these goal opportunities. But
yeah. And so after watching that game, what would you say was the biggest strengths, the biggest weaknesses, and the best players that you saw on field in that game? Loaded question, sorry.
For me, for Catalonia, they really took advantage of UK's very, very wide spread out defense. UK's wings were very far back a lot of the time, and the hoops were quite open. And so a lot of Catalonia's goals came from their first goal came from quite a good pass to almost an alley oop, and 2 or 3 goals are also from quite good shots. So they're really clearly seeing those opportunities and taking them, which is really good. But just as equally on offense, they're getting trapped into these big lobby passes, and those big lobby passes are being picked up by Seb Waters and by Alex McCartney and whoever, all these big tall keepers, and those big lobby passes are also taking way too long to get to their receivers, and giving the UK beers way too much time to just clean up and get back on offense.
He did have some beautiful intercepts towards the end. I was just sitting right at the front and just kept watching his long arms just go up and grab that ball. It was beautiful to watch, but at the same time, I just wanted Catalonia to score. I wanted everybody to score.
The UK on offense did a really, really good job, I think, of using their wings a lot. So they're very rarely driving straight down the middle of the pitch rather. They're doing a really good job of coming in from the side, pulling Catalonia's defense out towards the side, and then using one of their wings on the other side, or one of the players behind the hoops. And so that very comfortability they get great comfort playing on wherever they want around the hoops is very, very big asset for the UK. If they keep playing like that, going into their more competitive games, I think that'll do them well in the rest of the tournament.
Maddie, what did you think?
Yeah, I think what you said really came in handy. The UK using the wings, but also if they have to, being able to run it down quickly. They don't have these big, like, bull-type players that you just don't get down, because where the speed doesn't matter, but they're very agile in their drives. So if they go for it, it's super quick. You really got to be there. You got to be quick to react if you want to set that tackle. So that's really a strength they can use, that they can use both of those ways to score. I think their defense they didn't really adapt their defense quick enough, so we're going to see how that goes. For Catalonia, yeah, their beaters, really got to use those to great effect. They did that, and if they continue doing that for the tournament, it's going to be good for them. Also, as mentioned before, Big Marcus, number 6. Really liked that guy. Very
It's
good.
just a cannonball. It was great. He's
Very
just
good
so
ball
big.
handling. Those shots were great. If he continues doing them, it's a weapon. You only need one player that's able to do that, and it's just going to bring a lot of uncertainty to the defense of the opposing team, because they always got to keep in mind that they can't let the hoop open. So there tend to be more free players that you can actually pass to, because someone's always guarding the hoops.
Yeah. So I think we just watched an excellent game of Quidditch. I'm very excited to see what else comes next. If you could only pick one more match to watch this weekend that wasn't any of the finals, what would you pick?
I'm personally very excited for Belgium playing Germany later on today.
Oh, yeah.
I'm also very keen to see how Team UK goes against Italy. I think the game at World Cup was very, very close. I think Italy's improved a lot over the last couple of years, so I'd be very keen to see how that game goes for them.
All right. Maddie?
Pretty much the same for me. I think Belgium-Germany is going to be, for me at least, the highlight of the day, also because it's a bit later in the day, so we might get more of the locals coming in, and large groups of fans, no matter for what team, it's always exciting to see. And UK-Italy could really be, it could be the first taste of what might be in store for the UK. If the UK really fell down, Italy might be the first one to come in with the upset.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen Germany play yet. I saw the development squad team play, and that was excellent Quidditch to watch. So if the German team is just an even higher level, then I'm very excited
Way
for
higher level.
all their matches. I think it's just going to be an excellent weekend of Quidditch, yeah. All right. Any last comments we have for the game, or do you guys think you've got it all out?
I think we're good for now.
Yeah, all right. Well, next match should be starting pretty soon. I don't recognize those uniforms. I don't know who's playing.
That's Slovenia, and I can't see the other team right now. Might be the Netherlands.
Okay, Slovenia and Czech Republic. I think that's gonna be fun to watch as well. So I would say keep watching the live stream, because you've got so much excellent Quidditch coming up. I'm Helen Glover from Australia. This is AJ also from Australia. So thanks for. We'd like to wish a warm thank you to Europe for having us. And this has been Maddie. And we thank you for listening to us talk about that game, and enjoy the rest of the stream.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, whoo, what another great game you guys
very
just saw.
close, very close game.
Unbelievably, I can't believe that we have that on stream. Thankfully for Ruhr Phoenix TV, we have it on stream. And now for the last part of this panel, we're going to introduce 2 more teams to you that we think are in the favorite group to win this tournament. It's going to be about Germany and Team France. And Team France, Gio, that was your alley.
It was, yeah, Team France. So they have some good players. They're okay. They've got, who's that? That's Mikel, phenomenal player. Keeper for the Paris Titans. Very good shot stopper, very phenomenal shooter, but solid driver. Can go beast mode.
Marshawn Lynch.
Straight through the team. But also, what I find with the with when Mikel has the ball, always looks to try and pass and open up that play. Because of the way he can shoot, teams will be trying to shut down those shooting lanes. But then that means they leave the chasers who are wide open. Nice, easy goals. We saw that at EQC with Albert.
Yeah.
Albert ran through, did his weird swing pass, which I shovel sideways to a wide open chaser, just dunked it in. because they're always expecting the drive or the shots. So you've always got to be respectful of the players who are wide receiving. Players like Sammy.
Yeah, I love Sammy.
Phenomenal player. Like, if you don't know who Sammy is, then I don't really know what to say.
Watch the stream and find out.
Yeah, watch Sammy play. Phenomenal player. And then they've also got, that's just the chasing game, with Etienne in the beating game, and you've got Boris in the seeking game. They probably, I would say, like, if the final is Belgium versus France, I'd be very happy, because I think that'd be a phenomenal final. And I think I would still urge it to Belgium, but I think France could be a very good second.
I think, yeah, these two nations, and also on their club level, have a good rivalry going on, and it seems that this year can be a continuous time of that one. But one team to maybe want to say a word in that one is Germany, because Team Germany on this point, last year in the World Cup, they had the best first day of any teams, but then came in 7th. This team, they want to turn it around. The head coach, Steffen Wirsching, and his assistant coach, Nadine Ziranek, have put together a great team. They had a great recruitment throughout all of Germany. They viewed over 200 players, I think. And that was a lot of effort. And now they think they are the best of the players Germany has to offer, and we'll see how they stack up. Germany, it's hard to pin down what Germany does, because it's not like France or like Belgium, where you know kind of what the best team does. The national team is probably going to do as well. It seems to me that Germany can rely on their on several options. They can go for a good trolling game. They have like Marvin or like a Julia, but we also have like the great passing game and like a cerebral play of Bonn players, and the impeccable beating of Leon Burgos. Jana Chung, a player who, for Bonn, made an impeccable leap on her play this year, and I can't wait for you guys to see this on screen. Yeah, the Germans are up for the task, and they want to talk about getting one of these 1, 2, 3 spots, and I think that's probably where they land. I have them on the fourth place. And we'll see.
I think that's a fair one. I think what's quite good with the German Quidditch is the national players are spread out throughout all the teams.
Exactly.
So you don't have this one dominant team in the domestic league. And it's nice to see that they have their own styles domestically. And you can see it with the Berlin Blue Caps and the Bonn Rhinos. They have more of a passing game, or they try and they do that nice switch play. Yeah. Sometimes they hand it off, sometimes they don't, which is quite good. Ratatouille is the call they always have.
Yeah, exactly.
But then they can take that, what they learn there, and take it to a national team and adapt it.
And we'll see if that actually happened, or if we can do it to succession. Also, we can maybe like give some shout outs to some teams who are like on the brink of getting into that top tier, and in my eyes, that's Austria and Italy. If there's any team I would have like a dark horse bet on, it would be Austria and getting into these top 6 teams.
Yeah, Austria, again, domestically had decent EQC, D2 with the Vienna Vanguards. Yep. And at World Cup last year, the Italians did scare the UK team. They took it to swim. But I think that was the big factor there was home field advantage. You heard all the fans in the stadium, and when you hear someone cheering you on and you're on that pitch and it's crunch time, that really does make you dig deep and give it all your efforts.
Yeah, for me, I'm kind of wondering how Austria is going to play against the top teams of Europe. It's hard to put it down, because they played in UQC Division 2, which is not really the level of the national teams. It's more like UQC Division 1, of course. And we see how they stack up. They have the tools to get into the top 6. But for me, they're kind of one step ahead, and one tiny step behind that is also Italy with their great chasing games. But I think they are maybe up for some leap in the standings. We'll see about that.
I think if they prepare for their opposition, say they play Belgium, for example. If they understand what Belgium do, can shut that down, maybe they might get an upset. Especially if it's a swim game, all you need to do is catch a snitch.
Okay, that's enough from me and Gio. You guys probably don't want to hear us talking about any more games. You want to watch them, and that's exactly what you're going to have in store for you. Stay on the live stream, stay tuned, watch the games, and get in these comments. Do you agree that Gio and me just said? Who do you think is going to win the whole thing? And yeah, are you up for it? And please enjoy the rest of the games. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.